If this video seems a little bit just disjointed, it is because last week I filmed this video in full, but it was too long, so then I decided to cut it up into 2 parts. So the first part is showing all of my old OCs, and that is a video all on its own, and now this is the second part, and I left Johnny and Bill for the end, and honestly they deserve their own video anyways. So this is the last part that features Johnny and Bill, and their section was just a little bit too large to keep with the other video because it would have been like 20 minutes, and no one wants to see me ramble on about my old OCs for 20 minutes. So anyways, I'm just gonna let the video play, but if it seems a little bit like I'm talking about things that aren't in this video, that's because I am, because those videos are in part 1. So if you want to see part 1 first, you can just go look at the video that I uploaded previously to this one. Okay, that's all, and I'm just gonna let the video play now. Bye. And then the last one is Johnny 2.0 and Robot Bill. Okay, so I'm gonna give some backstory on Johnny and Bill. So Johnny 2.0 and Robot Bill started in high school, and I used to draw these guys on everything. I literally have a whole binder. After I graduated high school, I went through every single notebook I had, and I ripped out all the pages that had Johnny and Bill in it, and I filled a whole binder of me drawing these guys like all the time. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I do still draw them. At work when I doodle, I do still draw Johnny and Bill all the time. I don't put them on my main page like as posts, but they are often in the highlights section under the work doodles, and that is where I keep them because I really love these characters. I've had them for years. Like if it was in high school, I think I started them in 11th grade. That would have been 2009. So yeah, I've had these characters for a long time, and they're one of my favorites. I love Johnny 2.0 and Robot Bill, so they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. I'm still gonna draw them. You can't stop. I drew them so much that in my calculus class in high school, I used to draw them at the end of every test. And depending on how well I drew them, my calculus teacher would give me like 5 extra points. So thanks, Mrs. Posner. That was really nice of you. So anyways, let's get into JB. All right, so this was the first ever like official comic that I did of them, and I was at the time I was thinking I wasn't gonna have them like speak very much, but I did end up having them speak more. So in this comic, they're obviously going shopping. So this is Robot Bill, this is Johnny 2.0, and they're in a store. Johnny sees something and he's like, wow, look what I found. He finds this cute little robot bear that he thinks looks very much like Robot Bill, and he's like, I have to have it. So he runs over to it, he grabs it, and he goes up to Robot Bill and he's like, can I keep him? And then in the end panel we see that yes, Robot Bill did let Johnny buy the teddy bear. And it's so cute. So I was really proud of myself when I did this. I was like, yeah, I did my first comic. Whoop. So yeah, my first ever Johnny 2.0 Robot Bill comic, and it's all done in colored pencils, clearly Crayola. Actually, I think these were Prismacolors. I was using them badly. So the next comic that I did, this is when we meet their bunny. So he's staring at the bunny's staring at him, and then Robot Bill comes in and says, what are you doing? And he's like, trying to read his mind. And Robot Bill's like, hey, you're crazy. So yeah, this was the second comic that I did of them, and I was less proud of this one because I didn't do the wording the way I wanted to. I don't know. Maybe I should have did like word bubbles or whatever, but this was the second comic of Johnny 2.0 and Robot Bill. Focus. There we go. The next comic of them is Johnny in the kitchen. He's looking at the teapot's singing, and Johnny starts whistling, and then Robot Bill comes in and he's like, what are you doing? And Johnny's like, singing with the teapot. So if you get a view of their dynamic where Johnny's like the wild, crazy one who's always doing something silly, and Robot Bill is always like, what are you doing? So yeah, that's kind of their dynamic. The next one, I was really happy with the colors in this one. Yeah, so Robot Bill is like, get back inside, Johnny, before you catch a cold, and it's raining and it's cold. And Johnny's like, no, come dance with me. And Robot Bill's like, no, it's raining. And then Johnny's like, please, Arby. And he's like, fine. So then they're in the weather and they're dancing. And I thought this was a cute one just to show that Robot Bill isn't always so uptight. Okay? This is one that also has no words in it. It's just
a present. Clearly Johnny left it for him because it says to RB, and in this one we find out that that is what Johnny sometimes calls Robot Bill. So there's a present to RB. He opens it. It's a bunch of streamers, and it surprises him, and he's like, are you kidding me? I'm having too much fun with these. I did not look at these again before I filmed this, so I'm enjoying these as I'm looking at them. Man, I miss these comics. Okay. The next one is just this cute little strip of them obviously taking pictures in a booth, a picture booth. So yeah, this is just them taking pictures, making faces, shades on, doing all the things. So yeah. This next one is them having a picnic, and Johnny picks Robot Bill a flower, and he's all embarrassed, like, here's your flower. And then Robot Bill is just sniffing it, and he's happy, and I thought it was cute. Oh my god, I forgot about this one. So Robot Bill obviously doesn't wear clothes because he's a robot. So he's in the closet, he's looking at all of Johnny's sweaters because that's all Johnny ever wears, and he puts the sweater on, and Johnny catches him. What are you doing? I forgot about this one. So as you can see, Robot Bill isn't always so uptight. Sometimes he has fun. Focus. Cute. So the next one is the little robot bear staring at Robot Bill staring at the robot bear, and he's like, do you have to bring him to the dinner table? And he's like, Bobby is part of the family now, RB. So that's where we learned that Johnny named his teddy bear Bobby, obviously for Robot Bill. So cute. This was just a one-off comic, and this is actually a bigger version of one of the ones that I drew on my test. So like I mentioned earlier, I did used to draw these comics on my tests in pre-calc, and when I would finish, she would sometimes give me points for how good the drawing was. So yeah, this was one of the ones I drew for him. I think she gave me a +5 when I did this one. So I decided to do it in color, and basically Robot Bill found a monster, and he's like, Johnny 2.0 found the monster, and he's like, can we keep him? And Robot Bill is like, are you out of your mind? Well, I did a lot more of these than I realized, so this is going to be a freaking long video. Anyways, so they're at the beach, and Robot Bill is like, can you pass me the suntan lotion? And Johnny's like, but you're a robot. So he stands up, he's like, jerk. And Johnny's like, what did I say wrong? So I think when I posted this is around when people realize that yes, Robot Bill is a robot, but Johnny 2.0 is not. He's human. He just has a giant sweater on. He is a human. This is just them on a moonlit boat ride. And this is Johnny 2.0 playing inside of a dryer, and Robot Bill is like, Johnny, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm not Johnny, I'm a hipster. Oh man, these are golden. I actually used to do that when I was younger. I would sit inside of the dryers, which I probably shouldn't have done. Right, and the next one is it was around Halloween, so I did a Halloween comic, and this is them going to the Halloween store, and then they go inside, and Robot Bill is cheap, so he's at the sale rack trying to like pick out from like the old stuff, and then Johnny 2.0 runs over, and he's wearing a Wonder Woman costume, and Robot Bill's like, that's never gonna happen. I thought this one was cute. And if, in case you didn't know that Johnny 2.0 was a human before, you would clearly know it now because he has hair underneath his hood. And then the last comic that I've ever done of them was actually a collab back in my DeviantArt days. This guy had actually, you know what? He looks a lot like Bobby, but this is not Bobby giant sized. There was a guy that had his own robot character, and he's like, hey, would it be cool if I drew all your characters together with my robot, and then you drew mine with your robots? And that's when I was like, Johnny's not a robot, but sure. So this is what I drew, and they were having a party, and I don't remember this little guy's name. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can find it, because I can go on my old DeviantArt account and I can find that picture. Okay, so this guy's name was just Blue Robot, and the user that created him was Alex Blue 0. And I still have him tagged on my DeviantArt. I give credit where credit's due. So this character is not mine, but these two are. And yeah, this was the last comic I ever did of them. Now, besides doing comics of them, I did sometimes draw them like real people. So when I drew them like real people, this is what they looks like. And when I drew them like real people, RedBubble was no longer a robot. He was just a guy that walked around with a box on his head. And then this is Johnny 2.0 with his sweater and his hoodie. So if they were going to be real people, this is what they would look like. Here is the bunny that he picked up, and here is Bobby, and then Jay and RB. And yeah, that's all I have for this. Oh wait, I found another one. Don't know when I did this, but they were going, the Johnny Billinator, aka rocket ship. So they were going into space. And that's all I have. I had things like this where I would like show them in different facial expressions, and then I had Johnny 2.0. See, these were Prismacolors I was using. So I had Johnny 2.0's facial expressions just so I can like have a quick reference for it, and then get off of that. And then I had his two colors, so he was outlined and his pocket was in this color, and then his rest of him was in this color. I'm pretty sure I had one for RedBubble too. I just can't find it. I had one with all his colors on it and I lost it. So these are all of my old comics. These are all of my old OCs, and I really am thinking about revamping Johnny 2.0 on RedBubble, because if you haven't noticed, I really love these characters. They're some of my favorites, so I think I'm gonna redo them again. I missed it, and this was fun looking through it all over again. Yeah. So, like I said, I do still want to draw one of these people. My bad. I hit the camera setup, and now it's falling all over the place. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I do still want to draw Leilani again, so I think I'm going to do her in my next video. I'm going to redraw Leilani, and yeah, that's all. Okay, bye. Last thing, I have so much old art. If you guys want to see like a timeline maybe of me showing all my art, maybe all my high school art, I have it all, because like I said, I never throw any of my art away. I never have, even when I was younger. I always felt like it was something I would want to look back at when I got older. So yeah, let me know if you want me to do like maybe a timeline type thing of all my old art, because I still have it. Okay, that's all now. Bye.